Welcome to the Run Radio podcast. My name's Trina Wilcox. My guest, Ashley Friend with For the Love of K9s. Welcome.
Hello, welcome. Thank you.
I hate to wake him up, but my little co-host is my little K9 Desi is in my lap. So definitely a fan of dogs. And anytime it's about taking care of or rescuing pets, I'm interested. So please tell me how this organization got started.
We are For the Love of K9s. We were started by our director, Sherry, many moons ago. I could not tell you the exact timeline. And she saw that there was a need for the local animal controls, that once dogs were not claimed, they had nowhere to go but decisions that were not wanting to be made. So she decided that she would start pulling from these local animal controls and giving them a home, a stopping point on their journey to forever. And so we pull from the Nixa Animal Control mainly, sometimes from Ozark, sometimes from some of the smaller areas that don't have any resources, but primarily Nixa and Ozark. And then if we have openings, we take owner surrenders, but that's really just based on foster homes. If we have a foster home available, we do not have a shelter or any kind of facility. We do have a couple boarding spots, I should say, at a couple local vet offices, but those are very few and far between, especially if holidays are coming up or anything like that. So really, we're just a foster-based rescue pulling from local animal controls, or we were huge in the Branson Chihuahua dump, if anyone remembers that story. But if we have foster homes available, we try to help anybody we can.
So how does this work then? Those cities, they usually find a stray or a dog that's been abandoned. They pick it up and then they call you?
Yeah, so the animal control officer in the state of Missouri, the dog has to be in the animal control. I believe it's 5 days. That includes a Saturday. Once that 5 days, it's 5 or 7 days. I'm sorry, I can't remember. But whatever that time is, once it's up, those dogs either have to be surrendered to a rescue, have somebody adopt them. Some of the local animal controls have adoptions available through them directly, so they put the dogs up for adoption. But once that time's up, and if spaces are getting full, they have to make hard decisions on what happens with that dog next. And unfortunately, those decisions sometimes result in situations we don't like to see.
My number one thought, of course, around here is the Humane Society. Do they start reaching out to anyone first that will, and then just go down a list? Or how does that really actually work?
With the dogs that they have in their care?
Yeah.
So, we have a relationship with the Nixa Animal Control. It's great. The Nixa Police Force is great for us to work with. And I'm pretty sure, are the only rescue that pulls from the Nixa Police Department. I know that Springfield Police Department and their animal control has a totally different rescue that they work with that pulls from them.
Okay.
The Humane Society is pretty good about networking on their own, and they are ones that they have their own adoption facilities. So they have, once the dogs pass their stray hold, then they actually do their own thing, and they don't have to have a rescue step up per se.
Okay.
But some of the animal controls here are not equipped for that necessarily. I think there's one or two that does have public adoptions, but a lot of them rely solely on rescues to pull from them and then take them into their care. And once their dog's in a rescue's care, they allow the rescue takes that dog in, they feed it, they home it, they bathe it, they vaccinate it. Some need spay neuters, some need dental work, some need all kinds of testing. Unfortunately, we've had some heartworm positive dogs, so they have to go through heartworm treatment, anything and everything that gets that dog ready to adopt. So sometimes when people are adopting that $150 dog, they see that adoption fee and they say, whoa, why? And my personal dog just went through a dental work, and it was over $350. So if a rescue had to do a $350 dental and they're only getting $150 for that dog, they're not making money. I can promise you that.
Yeah. So it's really important for the surrounding smaller communities in our area to be having something like this, a rescue, because I know, if I remember right, like the city of Battlefield, they don't have any sort of rescue in place. So a lot of times dogs are just left wandering around and who knows what happens.
Yes, and some do not have an animal control at all. So if those dogs are found, then I'm not entirely sure what happens with those dogs, but I know that there are police officers that have to respond. Like I live in the city of Nixa, and unfortunately when the animal control officer's off duty, an officer has to come get the dog, and they take it to this facility until the next morning when the animal control officer can check the dog in and do all the things. But I've been to the animal control facility in Nixa exactly, and I mean, it's runs, and Josh does an amazing job with the dogs, and he is a fantastic animal control officer. But it is what it is, and sometimes it's hard. It's a hard job, and it's hard to be on the rescue side. That if you can't get foster homes, you can't take dogs, because we physically have nowhere to place a dog.
Is there a certain percentage that do get put back with their owner? Are they usually lost, or are these usually abandoned dogs?
I don't know the exact percentage, but I do know of a lot of dogs that, like, I found 2 dogs at Nixa that I knew in the city limits, you have to go to animal control. You have to, you have to go through the steps, and those dogs have been found 4 or 5 times. And I know animal control has taken them 2 times, but after a certain amount of time, some owners just don't want to mess with it anymore, and they don't want the citations, and they just, okay, fine, take the dogs.
Oh.
Or sometimes they are legit strays, or they've roamed in from other areas. I know there's several breeds that like to roam and they find themselves miles from home. And unfortunately, I don't have an exact number on that, but there are a lot of dogs that come in, and I'd say there's probably maybe 50-50 reunions. And then the others, they're lost, or like I said, the owners might surrender them to the city just to be done with the hassle and headache, because there's breeds, like I said, that roam. There's breeds that like to climb fences, dig out, and some owners are not equipped for that.
Well, let's talk about some of the things that you are doing for the community, and then we'll talk about the ways the community can help you. So what are some things that you have going on, or just what's a typical need that you guys have and provide?
So some of the events we have, I can tell you, oh man, it's the 3rd and 4th Saturday of every month. One of them is a nail trim. One of them is a adoption event. Okay. The nail trims are at Pet Wants on Battlefield, and they're $10. You can bring as many dogs as you want. All of the proceeds go to the rescue. We have a volunteer. So we have volunteer groomers that come in. They do the nail trims. They see the dogs. We've seen, and sometimes we have donations above and beyond the $10, but it's all to go to the rescue. Pet Wants opens their store to us, and we get to use that storefront. It's an amazing experience just to have that ability for the community that maybe they can't get into their vet's office for a nail trim, or they don't want to do a nail trim, because I am one of those people that I do not want to trim my dog's nails. So it's great. It's a great way to get into Pet Wants and see if you've never been in there. They're a local business that has amazing food and toys and just different things that you've never seen before sometimes. And then our adoption events are at All About Dogs and Cats and Dogs, on South Campbell. Yes. They're fantastic. They open up their sidewalk to us. If it's rainy, we get to use the inside. If you've never been in there, they're amazing. They have tons of food options, tons of toys. They have a bathhouse. So if you want to get your dogs, meet a dog, bring your dog in, you can get them bathed. It is a self-service bath wash, but they are fantastic to work with. They help us in so many ways. And those are 2 reoccurring every single month, unless it falls on a holiday. You can find us at one of those 2 places. This summer, we do have a paddle party coming up. Okay. The paddle party is on June 3rd, and it's at Nixa Christian Church, which is near the Big Whiskey's in Nixa. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it's right over there, Domino's, Big Whiskey's. It's a $20 admission. That gets you 2 paddles, a drink, dessert, and dinner, a drink, a non-alcoholic beverage, and then admission to the thing, and you get 2 paddles. It's going to be a fun time. We have 16, I believe, vendors right now, 20 silent auction baskets. We've got Black Sheep's the food that'll be coming in. Black Sheep is a local business that has been amazing for us to work with. They partner with us on a lot of things. So you can look at all of our events and see maybe the food truck will be there, but the church has opened up their side room for us. And that church has also been an amazing partner with us. They've allowed us to have our garage sales there. So this summer we'll have our garage sale. Lots of fun things going on.
Neat. And people can keep track of those events on your Facebook page.
Yes.
Okay.
Our Facebook page, you can go there and click on the events, and it'll show you day by day. We try not to post too soon because then people forget about it, but
Yeah.
you can see what's happening. You can see past events so that you can see kind of what we've done, what we're doing. Last summer we did a Cardinals game at the Springfield Cardinals. We've done all kinds of fun stuff that just people can get involved. The number one need we have is foster homes.
Okay. Yes. Tell us about that.
Foster homes, they are fantastic for the dogs. If we don't have a foster home, we can't take in a dog. So we have some people that take in, 3 or 4 fosters because they don't have any personals. Unfortunately, people like me who have 4 personal dogs, I can't take in more than 1 at a time. And so foster homes are amazing, and big dog fosters. I am a big dog foster. I love the big ones. My biggest is 105 pounds. Yeah, he's a big boy. I show it to you, but he's outside the yard. But that's what we need. We need foster homes of any size. But if you can open your home to a big dog foster, it is really life-changing. And a lot of people are leery. They don't want to get attached. They don't want to get upset when the dog leaves. They don't want to do that. But I can promise you, I have fostered puppies. I've fostered breeder releases, which is another thing we take in is breeder releases. I forgot to mention that. It is upsetting, but when you get those updates of that dog flourishing in their new home, it makes it all worth it. I have been in contact with so many of my adopters, and I had a pair of puppy sisters that they got adopted in the same home, and to see them now, it's been 4 years, and they're flourishing, love their life. And I cried when they left, and I cried when my breeder release left, and I cried when my animal control dog left, and I've cried when they all leave. But then I get those updates and it makes it worth it. And it reminds me that I can do this again, because without me, those dogs would not have even had a forever.
No kidding. Talk a little bit about breeder releases, and maybe someone can connect with you that way.
Yeah, so breeder releases are a fantastic way. I know a lot of people can want a specific breed, and in the rescue world, it's hard not to find that breed mixed with something else or whatnot. We take in breeder releases. We take in a lot of Chihuahuas, some Frenchies. We've had boxers. We've had Goldens. We've had Doodles. All kinds. There's tons of breeder releases. Okay. But what happens is a breeder either deems a puppy as it's not fit to continue on with its given task, or they're retiring them from breeding. And as heartbreaking as it is, it gives that dog a second chance on life. So my mom foster failed 2 breeder release Chihuahuas, and watching them go from being terrified of the grass to now you can't get them in off of the grass.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Or watching them be scared to death of my mom, and now they love her and they want to be right next to her all the time. So it's a great way. And they come in, her 2 Chihuahuas, unfortunately, when Sherry brought them in, they had to have a lot of dental work. They don't have any teeth. Nikki, the female, has done, I don't know how many litters. Smokey, the male, I don't know if they were together in that sense back, but they came from the same breeder. He's a little Spitfire, and they both have come out of their shells, and they are fantastic dogs. But those breeder releases are they're a special breed because they are so timid. They are so shy. They don't understand what it is like to be a dog. They struggle with connecting sometimes, but like my breeder release boxer that I had in my house, she did not like me. She was terrified of me. She was terrified of my husband, but that's because these dogs live their life in a crate, big enough for them to turn around in the state of Missouri, and that's it. So they don't understand what life is like. And then she bonded really well with my boxer mix that I have, and they were best friends. And her mom that ended up adopting her would send me updates. I believe she since has passed, but would send me updates, and she bonded so well with them, would climb up on their laps, would take naps with them. And because I took her in our home, and we took a chance on her, she was able to see what it's like to be a dog and not to just be a money-making machine for someone else.
Yeah. Now that's some breeders. There are responsible
There are some
breeders. There are
very
great ones.
yes.
Yes.
Those are very great breeders. They're out there, they're ethical, they do what's right, but unfortunately they get a really bad rep because of the guys that
Yeah.
the ones that we get from. And it's just the nature of the beast. I mean, there's lawn care companies out there that are not reputable. I mean, it's just,
Right.
and they give a
Yes.
bad rep for everybody, or
Yeah.
mechanics or whatever. So it's just the nature of the beast of having your own business. I am a business owner myself, so I understand.
Yes.
But the breeder releases, and they're fantastic because once they love you, they are attached to you. Once
Oh,
they realize that you're going to give them a forever. And sometimes we get, like I said, puppies, adults, teenage dogs,
yes.
all kinds of breeder releases. There's all kinds of animal control releases. I mean, we've gotten purebred dogs from the animal control before that just, I don't know if the owners just gave up or what, but because that's sometimes the rescue gets a bad rep that they don't want. Like one of my rescues is a Beagle Blue Heeler Pyrenees mix. People don't want to take a chance on that. When he was a puppy, we had no idea he'd be 105 pounds today, but you take a chance and you get to know him. But
Yeah.
those breeder releases are a special thing. And I know several people that have adopted them and they just love those guys as much as they can.
Now, what's the application process like for someone that wants to foster?
So fostering, really, you fill out the application. We vet them. We check and make sure
Good.
all the dogs in their home are up to date, spayed, neutered. We don't need any accidental litters in the home. They make sure that everything's kosher, that we've got, it's very easy. Like they'll check your fencing, make sure you have a fence, make sure some things like that. And then once that happens, you say, I'll take any dog, or I'll take only up to 25 pounds, or I'll take whatever.
Yeah.
And then literally you just provide a roof over their head. The rescue provides vetting, they provide food, they provide, if you need chew toys, if we've got them donated, we give those to them. Anything it takes, all you have to do is show that dog love and get it on the road to finding a forever home. When you foster also, a lot of our fosters do their own adoptions. They find the parents, they do the vetting of the new parents, they do all the things. When I first fostered, I refused to do that. So our director stepped in and she did all the vetting of the new parents. But it's super easy. And if you're a dog person or think you want to be a dog person, it's a great way to test the waters.
Yeah.
Great way to open your home and just provide love to these dogs. It's really the best.
Sounds great. Is there anything else you want to share or anything else that the community can do to help?
The community can help us by really fostering. Number one request,
Okay.
fostering. We cannot emphasize that enough, that if we do not have homes, we cannot take dogs. And we have people get mad at us all the time that they want to surrender their dog and we can't. We
Yeah.
physically cannot do it. Another option is if you just want to volunteer, maybe you can't foster, but you can walk a dog that's in boarding if we have a dog in boarding, or you can come to an event and just be a social person that wants to talk to people about dogs. We need all the help we can get. Or nail trim events, if you want to come in and be one of the assistants that helps the groomer, or maybe you can help with paperwork at the events. We have people that can't foster, but they do social media stuff. They do graphics. We have people that go up to Kansas City and get food donations. And then we have volunteers come in and help unload food by hand. Or you have a business. Maybe you have a business that wants to partner with us. We have a lot of small business owners that partner with us on things, and they come in and they host events, or they do fundraising, or anything and everything, anything you can imagine. You approach us with what your idea is and we will take it and we will run with it. So
Sounds great.
number one, fostering. Number two, just volunteers.
Okay. Now, another question on fostering, you said just put a roof over their head. Like, are vet fees and all of that covered by other
Yes.
people and not the foster parent?
That's correct. So the rescue will schedule if the dog needs a spay and neuter, a dental, just a general check, whatever the vet deems it needs. That is 100% on the rescue's dime. And like I said, it can get really expensive really fast.
Yeah.
But some of these dogs, I know there's one in our care right now that needs medication every day, and the medication is like, I can't remember. It's really expensive. And
Yeah.
that's the reason he's still in our care is because
Okay.
it's expensive. But the rescue pays 100% of that. That is not on
Okay.
the foster parent to pay for. I know I had a dog that was on special dog food and it was really expensive. So I chose to make that a donation to the rescue.
Oh, okay.
I just bought the food and took care of it. But so some people do that, but that's on their own choices. No, the rescue does not require the foster parents to pay for anything.
All right. I love it. Lots of things, lots of ways to get involved. I love the nail trimming event. I might be seeing you at one of those. And don't forget the paddle party, June 3rd, right?
Yes, June 3rd. And that is going to be doors open at 4:30. And then we will have the food truck there. We'll have the vendors you can shop with, the silent auction baskets you can shop and look at. And then the event will start from there.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Ashley Friend with For the Love of Canines.
Thank you.